Listen. It's still Spider-Man 2 over all of these right here. I know a lot of people argue for Into the Spider-Verse, and I do think it came close, but between the two, one of them has stood the test of time, past decades. It's the one people lie about getting topped every year when you hear it's finally better than Spider-Man 2. It's better than Spider-Man 2. Finally better than Spider-Man 2. But the thing with Spider-Man 2 is that it's also the one that's always getting homaged. Pretty much, it's your favorite Spider-Man movie's favorite Spider-Man movie. This new one tried to get close, but I also think it is unfair to compare new installments to a masterpiece. They should be allowed to be their own thing, and especially considering that we're living in a time where Spider-Man fans on Twitter sound like Sonic fans complaining about dirt. I think that it's just better to have fun with these. And while I will have an entire Spider-Man video covering all of them with full LME spoilers coming up, this one's going to be a little bit different since I was able to see the movie early, and it's going to be a complete non-spoiler review for a movie I consider to be a fun junior price, but has two after credits that almost pass being a combo and make the movie. Let me explain. So the trailer synopsis for this is that it takes place directly after Endgame, to the point that it's ending Phase 3 and the entirety of the Infinity Saga, which is what the first three phases are. A lot of people have argued that why not end it on a movie that has the actual word ending in the title? But I actually think it makes sense, because not only does the plot actually continue and sort of wrap up or set up what Phase 4 is going to be, but when you really look at it, this movie that has the best after credit scenes, when you're looking at it in terms of the Infinity Saga, is the perfect after credit movie for it. It really was also Far From Home, because they shot everywhere, since the whole premise is that Peter's on vacation with a school, Peter's struggling between being an Avenger after Tony's death, or, as always with a Spider-Man movie, struggling to handle this great power because it comes with too much responsibility. But you can tell they had fun on set. Maybe too much fun on set. But I am excited to see how people feel about the second half of this movie, because I personally think it's a lot like another MCU movie that I did enjoy. Some would disagree that it takes that turn, but when I mention it in the spoiler review, I think a lot of you are going to agree with me, because I can see a lot of people nitpicking the hell out of the second half. You know, you can disassociate yourself to the lore and see this as a new interpretation, but a lot of people will not have it with Spidey.
Take on Mysterio from the comics into the movie is different.
See, because what they're trying to do with the new Spider-Man series is kind of make it like the new Harry Potter. There's a direct quote that comes from Feige himself. It is the next teen high school centered series that doesn't do the numbers bit, but a subtitle using home. I don't know what's next. Spider-Man Homeland? Home Again? Home Alone? There are a lot of ways that they can go with this, so I'm pretty excited for what's in store, you know, when they go to his junior year, his senior year, if he ever makes it out of college, because we've never had a Spider-Man 4. Andrew didn't even get a third, and considering that this is a co-parenting job that's going on here, because Sony is sharing Spider-Man with Disney, things can get pretty complicated, because Sony is already wanting to connect their random Venom movie with the new Spider-Man, and Disney's like, nah. Hell, there's even been moments where Sony has ruined things for Marvel's grand plan, something that I'll cover more in the bigger Spider-Man video, but yeah, we were actually supposed to think everyone was dead if it wasn't for Sony. So these guys either got to pick up the rights for Spider-Man during a Black Friday sale, or Disney has to buy out Sony, which I know is impossible, but y'all already got Fox, George, Pixar. I'm pretty sure y'all can put a hit on Amy. I personally think both of these movies are in the same level in terms of comedy, in terms of development, acting, tone. Pretty much however you feel about Homecoming will determine how you feel about this one, but I personally like the consistency. I already know what people are going to complain about, because I've been hearing things about how this movie may be kind of taking everything to a different direction, that all of the consequences in Endgame are kind of seen as a joke here, but the thing is, it's a teenager movie. Like, there's literally a quote out there that says that this is all supposed to be an homage to John Hughes. This isn't an Avengers movie. This is meant to be comedic. Tumblr girls are going to overuse the word bow now. Just watch. I've already checked the sites to see if the word's trending. Not those stocks are going to go up in a couple of weeks, but easily the thing that's going to be talked about the most are the after credit scenes. Some like for it to be a surprise. I don't really get that, but I'm telling you right now that I'm confirming it for those who go with their families to the movies and once the movie ends decide to get up instead of waiting in the chairs for the credits to finish, thus making it seem like they're pressuring you to leave because they don't want to wait after the movie and you don't want to sit there risking that there may not be an after credit scene. So instead, you pull out your phone and Google, does Far From Home have an after credit scenes? And, you click on the first random article you see, and even though the title of the article is in English and it says, does Spider-Man have an after credit scene? It ends up just being a huge synopsis, ad, cast, ad, release dates, ad, and then a maybe. So I'm telling you, there are 2 after credit scenes, one at the beginning, one at the end, and if you miss any of them, you literally have not seen the movie. Now, one, we can argue about whether this is the best after credit scene in an MCU movie. I obviously think so, but you're allowed to have your opinion. I don't know if you're going to come up with shawarma or if you're a masochist and going to pick this one. I can't think of any, and that's mainly due to point number 2, which is not debatable. Because if you do not stay for the after credit scenes, like I said, you literally have not seen the movie. A lot of you don't take them seriously because you usually think they're jokes, but I'm telling you, after you see the first one that comes up, you're going to be thinking about all those people who left the theater faster than Miami Heat fans going, damn, they haven't seen the whole movie. But then when the second and final one comes up, that's just Marvel literally telling you to buy another ticket to watch what you just saw. Will people argue about the after credit scenes and say they're not as consistent? Perhaps. But it's literally what sets up what I can only imagine as being the biggest part of Phase 4.
Oh, I was about to say that.
Thank you guys for checking out this video. I'm curious to know your thoughts down below. It's really weird doing one of these videos with no spoilers. As you guys know, I like to actually explain things. So talking about Jake Gyllenhaal but not being able to tell you what happens with his character, talking about the after credit scenes without telling you, yeah, I like sticking to the spoiler stuff, so that's definitely what I'm going to do. As some of you know, if you follow me on Instagram, I had bought the whole 4K set. I have a bunch of the voodoo codes as well that I may be giving out on the Monday live streams if you watch those. But because I got all of the movies with all of the extra features, it's taking a bit, but we're trying to watch all of it the same way we're doing with Child's Play and with Toy Story to be able to get like a really big LME from the first Spider-Man to Spider-Verse. And I'm pretty excited for it. We are in that weird place though right now where none of the think pieces for Spider-Man have been written. There's no petitions written yet. Twitter hasn't found anything to cancel, but once Tuesday hits, oh boy, I'll be seeing some of you back here in this comment section after you see how I called half of it, or I'll be seeing you guys in the full Spider-Man LME video. Either way, a big thank you for watching, and this time instead of just commenting, liking, and subscribing, go tweet at LME Explain, our new little Twitter page that we have, what your favorite Spider-Man movie is and why. And the best one, I'll DM for 2 IMAX tickets for opening day so that they can enjoy it as a combo price.